Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Sweet 915. I'm your host, Curtis Smith, and my co host
It's me, Fedora. How
is
you doing,
me,
Curtis?
Fedora. It's Sunday. Like your
Yes.
hair, Fedora. It's
Oh,
nice.
thank you.
New look. It's the
Thank
new
you.
look. Fresh,
Yeah.
fresh.
I
It's Sunday.
appreciate
Yeah, it's Sunday. Football Sunday. So
it.
I don't have any scores to give you today. I haven't watched football today,
Who's
but
playing?
I will. Huh?
Who's playing? You know?
Well, I know the Dolphins won. The Dolphins won, so that's a
Oh,
good thing
okay.
for Florida. But the other team, Jacksonville, lost to the Niners. So I got some updates on some earlier games. But hey, it is
Okay.
what it is. And your old alma mater, FAMU, beat
Mm-hmm.
Bethune Cookman yesterday to
All
win
right.
the
Whoop, whoop.
Florida Florida Classic. They call it the Florida
All
Classic.
right.
So yeah,
Striking, striking.
that's all I've been doing, watching sports this weekend. When it's football season, I'm not leaving the house too much. And when it becomes
Mm-hmm.
college basketball, I don't leave the house too much either because it's pretty exciting. But we want
Mm-hmm.
to welcome everybody, to this Sunday. A lot of stuff is going on.
Yes.
COVID still going on. So and you said
Yeah.
the numbers are still rising, as you said.
Mm-hmm. Numbers and hospitalizations are increasing. Yep.
Hospitalizations are increasing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going back to square one because people are getting very comfortable with going out. As you
Mm-hmm.
can as you seen the fight last night with the name Crawford and Porter, man, they was on top of each other and nobody had a mask on. That was
Mm-hmm.
in the MGM resort. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nobody had a mask on. So
I guess they
I'm
don't
just
care.
going to say this because some people believe that they shouldn't be forced to take the vaccination. Um, But like I said, for me to have events, I need to know that you're vaccinated because I don't want to be responsible for somebody else getting sick because of your belief that you shouldn't have the shot or you don't want to take the shot. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I,
Yeah.
I just tell you, hey, you can't come to this event. I thank you for your patriotism, but no,
Mm-hmm.
you can't come here if you haven't gotten the shot. I can't put somebody else's life at risk because you still want to have a good time, but you don't want to get the shot.
Yeah.
But I'm not telling you you got to get
Oh,
the shot. You still don't have to get the shot, but you just can't come to
just
my
stay
event.
home.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't come to my event.
Stay
That's just
home
me.
or produce a card.
Yep. Stay home or
Yeah.
produce a card, and I think
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen.
It's
Like
gonna
they said,
start.
it's unconstitutional that the president had tried to make it mandatory that we be at 100% at a certain point, and I think it was deemed unconstitutional. So therefore, you can't make them. But however, people that own businesses, they can say you have to have a
With
mask
a
to come
mask
inside of my
on.
establishment.
And then
So
their workers should have to. I mean, I don't understand. I really don't understand the concept why somebody has to tell you to save your life, to
mhm,
be safe. Like it's my life. Like I love my life. I want to
mhm,
live as long as God is going to keep me on this green earth.
right,
So, yeah, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that that happens. I'm not going to try, or not when there's a pandemic. I mean,
yeah,
it's worldwide. So it's not
yeah,
just us.
yeah,
It's around the world. So, yeah, like I don't get it, but hey,
yeah. So
to each his own. If you don't care about your life, I'm
yeah,
sorry, but
mm, yeah.
I don't
And
need
like you
people to be
said, three.
around me.
My mother has six kids, and three out of the six had COVID. me,
Wow.
me, I had it, and two of my sisters had it,
Mm-hmm.
but my other three brothers they didn't have it. So they're lucky for them, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we
It's no
had it.
joke though.
Nah, it's
And
no
thank
joke.
God you came through it because
Yeah,
you was scaring me for a little bit
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I
We
had to
all
threaten
good.
you and everything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ooh, you had threatened me.
Yeah, you remember you said I threatened you
Oh, yeah, you did. But
because you wasn't answering your phone.
I made it happen. I because that thing had me. That hey, they don't understand. That is not a good feeling to have. I think that's
Nope.
the worst feeling that's the worst feeling I felt in probably all my whole life.
A life.
Just
Mm-hmm.
not knowing and passing out and stuff like that because
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to breathe and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot I went through, but like I said, I made it through and I'm happy. So I'm gonna get my shots. I'm getting my booster. As a matter of
I
fact, I'm
already got
getting
my
the booster
booster.
next.
I'm gonna get you.
I gotta make an appointment to get my booster. So I'm gonna get my booster next week along with my flu shot and shingles and all that good stuff.
Mhm.
Like I said, I'm a soldier. I done got a lot of shots in the military that I know what the hell, excuse me, what the heck it was. But all I was told is, hey, you get the shot, you better
Mhm.
get the shot, or you're gonna get a counseling. So uh,
Yep.
I guess the Army's changing now. We don't have those type of rules.
Oh,
they give
really? They
them,
didn't have. They
they give
don't
them.
have to.
I have to look into that. I got a couple friends that's still in the military, a couple sergeant majors. So I got to ask them what's the deal? Is it mandatory? Are we
Mhm.
giving the soldiers the option, or they tell them, hey, you get the shot to get out?
Yeah. Hmm.
You know.
Mhm.
But that's
Today's
latest
topic.
news and observances, huh?
I say today's topic.
Yeah. Today's topic. What's today's topic? We talked about. Let's talk about this right quick. Let me get the intro. Let me talk a little about this. It says, contrary to popular belief, Black people are not inherently more violent than any other demographics. Colonization, slavery, and the civil rights era dispel that myth. Black on black crimes is a phase many people despise, but there is a myth versus reality mentally that often keeps Black people from discussing problems that plague us within. Some Black people say it is a myth due to non-Black people using it as an excuse for systematic racism and to bury their truths on how it all began in the first place. We will continue to fight that battle of racism and bigotry. However, at this very moment, time is of the essence. A lot of stuff's going on. You've seen it, Young Dro and a couple other things happening.
Mhm.
Um, so
We need to
time,
save our men.
yep, time is of essence to save our men, women, boys, and girls. Bringing awareness to the situation is necessary. Now, what it takes action. And if you'd like to come to the state to speak on it, let us know by messaging us on Facebook at Sweet 915 or email the real Sweet 915 at gmail.com. And you may also comment as well, share your questions and concerns, comments. Uh,
Mhm.
Sober, saving our Black existence right now. And we
Mhm.
talked about COVID updates, but like you said, today's topic, Black in the USA, conversation about stopping the violence committed by US uh,
By us
against.
against
Oh,
us.
oh, I said
Mhm.
U.S. us against us.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yep.
Increase in violent crimes by Black people against Black people. Cause effect solution, part one. This is a conversation and a call to action on what, if anything, can be done to alleviate this situation.
Mhm.
Apples and oranges. This has nothing to do with the crimes committed by those against innocent Black people or Black Lives Matter.
Mhm.
The percentages are similar when it comes to whites and Hispanics committing crimes against one another as well.
Yep.
But today's guest is one of special guy. Hey, he says a lot. He's got a great show out there, Chicago, Illinois, and he keeps it real. He keeps it very real. That's why I like when he invites me on his show, Mr. Andre Clay from the Reset.
Oh man, how
Welcome,
you doing?
welcome.
How you doing, Curtis? How you doing, Fedora?
Hey,
Thanks for
how
having
are
me
you?
back. I'm doing all right, hanging in
Good
there.
seeing
Good
you.
seeing you guys as well. Good seeing you guys as well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing today?
Hey,
Good.
hey, it's Sunday, man. We making it. Did
Yep.
you, did your Bears win today or they didn't play?
You know what, my brother? I haven't even paid attention at all. This Sunday, I was getting my rest on,
Yeah.
much needed. So I slept most of the day, and I was like, oh, I got a show I got to do today. So
Right,
let
right.
me get on board so I can be a part of Sweet 915 this Sunday. And so again, thanks for having me aboard with you guys today.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to talk about blacks in the USA, conversation about stopping the violence committed us against us. This is
Yeah,
the hard topic,
yeah.
but a lot of stuff has been happening, my brother. A lot of stuff has been happening in our community, but we don't want to talk about it.
Mhm.
And why is that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Curtis. I think we do talk about it, but I don't think we talk about it enough. And I don't think we talk about enough solutions to this
Mm,
problem. We see the media reporting on it all the time. We see ourselves affected by it in our families, in our communities, and it causes much sorrow, much sorrow.
Mm.
and a lot of frustration. So we do have conversations about it, but we don't talk enough about possible solutions to these issues, both from within the community and out of the community. And
Mm.
so that's pretty much how I look at it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
What crimes are happening that are causing deaths, incarcerations, and lack of growth among Black people? Fedora, I'm asking, since that's a question that's been asked. I'm gonna ask you this as a mother: do you think that we as parents are not doing our job with the generation that we have that's coming up that doesn't understand? A friend of mine said it yesterday. We don't value somebody else's life. We don't value our own life. Do you think we as parents are not instilling that in our children today?
I think, well, I'm from a different generation than um most, so I would think the new generation of parents um haven't really instilled that. I know as when I grew up, and I'm sure you too, Curtis, because we're around the same age, even though I'm a little older than you, but we grew up knowing, no, for real, like we grew up
I know.
knowing, our worth and our value, right?
Right.
And
Mm.
so, and we grew up like the village, right?
Mm.
That village concept. So you couldn't be out anywhere, just anywhere, and acting a fool and doing whatever and saying whatever because it was going to get back to your parents.
Mm.
Now, if you did do that, it would get back to your parents and then you would be dealt with, right? There would be
Mm.
consequences. But nowadays, there's no respect for elders. Children can be around adults and use profanity without thinking twice. So you know that if they feel that comfortable saying those things, that they say it at home. So if it and it starts early, like they don't teach the children like a simple word like what to your parent.
Mm.
Like you don't, it's not something that you do. It's a lack of respect, and there's a lack of value for human life. It's just like all of the social media, and they really think that that's real, but
Mm.
in actuality it's not all real. Like these followers, they pay for like drones or whatever you call it to say that they have these many followers and that these persons are so popular, and they see these things and they jump on it and then they just go with it, even to something like for damaging property,
Yeah.
right? A
Mm.
TikToker come out, they'll see a video, think it's funny
Mm.
for you to damage property or slap some physically harm a person.
Mm.
They think that's funny.
Right.
And then they'll go and try to mimic and model it. But
Mm.
they're not thinking of the consequences, like bringing a weapon to school, or bringing a bullet or a knife,
Yeah.
to show a friend, like, "Ooh, this is cool. I'm the cool person." No,
Mm.
you can't do that. And then the parents are not having those conversations to say, "Hey, this is on TikTok. You better not be doing it. It's not funny, and this is why it's not funny, because
Yeah.
there are consequences. You can be in the system, you can be arrested, you can be expelled from school, yada yada yada, and you better not do this and that."
Mm.
So the parents aren't having those conversations because I don't know if their parents didn't have it with them, or they're just like in this new phase, like, "Oh, let's be friends." I
Mm.
don't know what it is, because that's not my mindset, and I didn't raise my children that way. So I can only come from my generation and what we did. But I do see, being in education, that there is that, like, let's just go with it. Just go with
Yeah.
the flow. There's no consequences for children. It's like a free for all. It's like the
Mm.
children run the household. So how is the
Yeah.
adult gonna tell them anything?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
So yeah.
hey, Andre. So
Uh,
when we talked about these incidents with the black on black crime, and I saw Ricky Smiley speak on the incident when young Doe down in
Young
Memphis,
Dolph. Hmm.
young
Was
Dolph
murdered.
down in Memphis, and you know what he said at the end of his conversation? He had a real deep conversation, and
Okay.
he said the problem is why we're having these issues with black on black crime is we are trying to be our kids' friends.
Hmm.
That's the problem. We're trying to be a friend instead of being a parent. Well, what are your thoughts on that, man?
You know what? I would have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I myself am not a parent, but I see the outcome of everybody else who is,
Mm.
and I definitely see a lack of respect. I definitely see all of the things Fedora brought up, and a lack of accountability is really high up on there. Um, a moral code, and a standard of which to live by has completely been eliminated from Black culture.
Mm,
As a whole,
mm,
we don't have a standard to live by through which a mutual respect can be had.
mm,
We don't have that at all. Young people are not instilling into their children moral values that can you know that can be appreciated across the board. Instead, they running wild. They're doing whatever they want to do. They're setting their own standards.
yeah.
They don't listen to the adults, and that makes it very, very hard for there to be mentorship programs. For instance, when you have children that are not used to authority or
Mm,
having a sense of real authority in their lives, they don't know what real guidelines are about. They don't have boundaries, and so yeah, we it's going to be tough for us to get a hold of this. But yeah, this is some of the outcomes I see
yeah.
from our culture not being able to gain more control over what's going on, and not passing down those values, those standards we got from our grandparents and great grandparents.
Hmm.
Our failure to pass that down, this is the result of what we see today.
Yeah, yeah. And you brought up a good point when you said that we can't even be mentors because if your parents is not instilling discipline in you, then how can I be a mentor to give you that type of structure
Right.
that you need?
Mhm.
Because based on my values and how I was raised, or you were raised, or Fedora, to say, hey man, you could have walked away from that situation.
Right.
You didn't have to shoot that guy, or you didn't have to fight him at all. You could have walked away from that situation. It's been plenty of situations when I was young. I already knew the outcome. I knew if I hit this guy or I do
Mhm.
something to him, he's gonna come back and then he gonna get me and I'm gonna get him. And then eventually one of us gonna kill each other. And we black.
Yep.
Mhm.
We're black.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I saw that coming, that, hey man, I gotta think about this. So, my friends would say, man, you need to get him. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just give him a pass on this one, man.
Right.
But
Right.
down deep down in my heart, I was thinking, yeah, I said, I'm gonna have to kill him or he gonna have to kill me for this to stop because we just, we got two warriors coming at each other on the streets. We want respect. It's about the respect thing when I was coming up, it's about the respect thing, and I was like, I can just let this go. I can let this go. You know what I mean? I can walk away from this one
Yeah.
because I already know the outcome. But with this new generation going on and what we see now, they taking on that chance. They's like, well, you know what? He shot at me, but he missed, so I'm gonna get him next time, and vice versa. And then when they get locked up, now they want to call for door, mama. No, 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 no. My family's like this. Once you go to jail, you staying in jail. Don't call me because I'm not putting my house up for sale.
Mhm.
What's it called? House up for the bail.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you no bail money. I'll come see you from time to time. And some people don't even want to come see the kids. They like, hey, I didn't put you in there.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you to go out there and do that. Why would you go do something like that? Some people are some families are religious based where they raise their kids not to do those things. So when you see somebody's child that you knew grew up in the church doing something like that, you're like, he knew better than that, or she knew better than that.
Mhm.
So they want to get on the news and cry or
Yeah.
cover their face and stuff like that because they're covering their face because they're embarrassed.
Yes.
They're embarrassed because they know better. They walking through, got their shirt all the way over their face because they embarrassed. They know better. They know they
Yeah.
should.
They
They
should
know
be.
they're not. That's not how they were raised.
Right.
You know, and like this
Absolutely.
new generation we talking about, they're the same way. I don't know. Um, we as parents, I think we have to uh, be more, have those talks as my
Yes.
friend said about her and her son. She tell him, I'm not coming to see you in jail. I'm not putting up my house. I'm not putting up my car because you wasn't raised like that.
Right.
So you better think twice about it before you do it. You know.
Yeah, and there too goes what Dre said, the values,
Mhm.
that value system, that those things that your parents will and will not tolerate, right?
Mhm.
That's
And
right.
you yourself. So you know how to act. And most kids do know how to act, but they'll push the button. And if
Yeah.
their parents allow them to get away with it, then they're like, okay, I'm gonna do it. They're kids.
Yeah.
That's what
Right.
they do. And then
Yep.
depending upon their environment, trying to survive, they're in that fight or flight survival mode.
Hmm.
Depending upon where you live, because Dre, you're in Chicago, so
Yes.
there's high gang
Yes.
problems and
Yes.
situations, and some kids don't want to be in gangs, but in order for them to stay alive,
You have to be in
they
one.
they have to be in one in order to get protection, because otherwise they'll just die on the street. So
Yep.
it's we have to do something about that too, the environment. And we can have mentors, but it's also the funding for different programs, and changing these environments, and not having these high rise project buildings, make them into like duplexes or something like that, where everybody's not on top of one another. It's so many different aspects of it, till it's so many things that the outside has to do. But we have to start at home first. It always
Mm.
starts at home. So each one teach one, reach one. We have to start at home. So
Yeah.
educating, maybe having parenting classes for these young parents to say, hey, what's it, what are your values? You might not have gotten it from your parents, but okay, it's time to break the cycle. It's time for you to start your own. And if you
Hmm.
want your child to survive and live, and for you to be able to see them walk across the stage to graduate, then there's some things that we need to do. And so let's start now, and let's change it, because we
Yeah.
know that all this stuff is going on. So let's get them in, get them into these classes while the babies are young, and get the parents the help that they need. And then boom, okay, we're constantly, we're checking up on them, we're making sure that they're doing and having these things and jobs, and changing that mindset, instead of just that,
Hmm.
oh, I'm in this area, I gotta survive, so I gotta get a gun and carry a gun. And if the next man comes, oh, he's
Yeah.
with this gang or this color, and all this foolishness. It's a travesty, but we have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So I say start at home. And like the people who don't have the education, let's get some education for them, because education is the key.
Right. Right. So Dre, what if anything can be done to stop these violent offenses at a personal level? What do you think?
On a personal level, um, I really do believe that the root of this, the resolution at its root, is to bring back the nuclear family. I do believe that fathers need to be present in the home that the child is being reared in.
Mm.
I think that the it is in peril. It is of grave importance that we have both the mother and the father's influence. There's a natural influence that
Mm.
the two can have on a child in order for that child to be raised up to be a more balanced person. With the last conversation, one of the things that we talked about in trying to really get these young folks, before they get older and trying to get some control. When I was young, my father being in the home, two things that he taught me that I don't see present in today's young men, and that is knowing how to have conflict resolution and self-discipline
Mm.
and accountability. Those three things. I don't see them present in many, many, many of our young men. That is
Mhm.
one of the reasons there is this callousness towards another human being that you see. My father instilled those things in me,
Mm.
and so young men that I come across, I try to instill those things in them because I knew how important it was for me. It got me out of some fights, kept
Yeah.
me from getting shot, kept me away from those areas where that crime, that danger was.
Mm.
Although it's attractive to you as a
Yeah.
young person, it's attractive. Let's just keep it real. We grew up when NWA
Yeah.
was very popular, and so that
Yeah.
lifestyle, yeah, it was attractive. But because my parents together instilled those values, those standards within me, and a healthy fear of them. I think kids don't fear their parents enough
They don't.
nowadays.
Mm.
With that healthy fear of them, oh no, I didn't touch those places. I didn't go too close. I didn't get too close. And so, that's what I believe can be done, man. We definitely have to have more privately both parents in the home. It really is gonna start with us getting back the nuclear family.
Yeah.
Mm. Fedora, you see the comment right there?
Yeah, I do. It says that I guess the children are lacking emotional intelligence. They say it appears they lost the ability to process emotions as they happen. They go up the ladder of inference so quickly. They throw caution to the wind. Yeah,
Well put.
that's well put.
Well
Yeah.
put.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the kids want to be seen because yeah, we're in that social media.
yeah.
They will take good or bad attention. So true.
Mhm.
And if they
It's not.
see people get validation for the streets, that's true. They
Hmm.
will replicate that for their validation.
Yeah.
Very
Trying to
Absolutely.
get
true.
the likes. Trying to get the
Yep.
likes on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
all those social media platforms where
Mm-hmm.
uh, the intent versus the outcome is not what they think it's going to be. It might be
Mm-hmm.
funny, like you said, Fedora. It might be funny then until the knock come at the door and say, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you being arrested for whatever, whatever," and you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand why.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. You got all the likes, but now they're knocking at your door, coming to talk to you about something that just happened that you influenced somebody to do. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so
Or you saw
yeah.
and did it thinking it
Mhm.
was funny, and then it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, well, that. And it's
Yeah.
not even real though. The thing that they did that they
Mhm.
posted on there is not even real because the kids don't think, okay, am I seeing something that's not real? Can they really not tell the
Mhm.
truth on social media? Is do they can't lie, and kids at that age, they don't think that these things are lies. They don't look past. They don't make, I don't think they make the inference to say,
Mhm.
okay, this person is taking a full-on sink and a commode out of the bathroom and walking somewhere. Like, this is not real. This was all
Mhm.
produced, like chopped up, and it's not even at a school. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like not even at a place where they're saying it is. This is somewhere, maybe a junkyard. They put a back screen or whatever to make it look. It's not real, and the
Mhm.
kids are like, they think it's real, but it's not. And so
Yeah.
then they do it or try to do it, and then boom, their lives have changed.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, going back to the home,
Mhm.
the parents have to have these conversations with the
Mhm.
kids and let them know the real, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let them know, talk to them, say, hey, I am not tolerating that foolishness coming from you,
Mhm.
because you know who you are and whose you are.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, that's the problem, that we don't, tell our kids who they are and whose they are,
Yeah.
so that they can have that self-esteem, knowing. And go partly back to just baseline. Like, I guess some of their parents didn't have it to give it to them, and then they don't have it. And that's why I say education comes in. Since they
Yeah.
don't have it, we need to get it to them.
Yeah.
They need to get it. It's not enough for us to say,
Mhm.
oh, they don't have it, so they don't know. No, because you can learn anything in this day and age, social
Mhm.
media or the computer, the internet. If anything you want to find out, boom, all you got to do is Google it,
Yeah.
and you can find a replicable website, to tell you.
Yeah.
So
Um, they had a couple of shows on TV. Uh, uh, it was more like a scared straight Richland County jail
yes.
system where they put him in the jail cell or they leave him there for a couple of hours or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, let
Mm-hmm.
them see
Scare
what jail
straight.
is like. Um, where I'm from, they had a program where they were mentors, but they were black mentors, guys, young black guys that wanted to mentor us in the neighborhood. So they set up a trip for us to go to visit the jail.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Andre. When I had to go through the first defense they had to they had to no buzz you in,
Right.
and then you get to you walk this long strip, and then
Uh-huh.
you got to get buzzed into this building, and then they got to check you and strip you, well, search you, and make sure you don't have nothing offensive in there, and then
Uh-huh.
you got to show ID and fill out all these forms, and then you got to go, and then you go from there to another area. You got to walk a big long walk into this other area where that's where the inmates were,
Right.
and they explained the system and how, and then we got in a room like you see on TV where all the inmates talk to us about, you know, why they're there, and if they had an opportunity to do it all over again, they wouldn't even be here. And it was some people, it was guys that was our age, teenagers, telling us this. They're like, man, if I could do it all over again, I would have never went and shot that guy, or I would have never robbed this dude, or I've never, man, hey, live your life, don't, this ain't where you want to be. He talking about, and that's what I tease my brothers about. I say, you get a bologna sandwich, an orange, and a juicy juice for lunch. And that's
Right.
all you
Right.
got. He was like, this all I gotta eat. And then I gotta trade to so I can get a full meal, a stomach, you know what I'm saying? Or I gotta wait for my mama to put some money in my canteen. And that right there, to have to go through all those phases and be locked down in this cold building, sitting on a metal bench, I was like, nah, this ain't for me. I can't do this right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was we were the Botillion. That's why I was a part of the Botillion when they did that. Man, and those inmates spoke to us, man. Hey, listen, hey, it didn't go in one ear and out the other, because when I saw what they looked like, and they was walking around with that brown suit on with them flip flops, brother. No. So that's when we say, what can we do to stop these things? I think we need to go back to taking the young men to those places and seeing seeing a guy that's 17, 18, 19 years old about to do 20 to life in jail, and let them hear their experience, and let them hear and say, man, if I had an opportunity to do it all over again, man, I wouldn't do. They got to hear it. I think they need to hear it from them, from the inside, talking to them. And I think that's where we can maybe we can't fix the problem, but we can make some type of adjustments towards making a change for somebody, saving somebody's life. You know what I mean? Especially saving our community, saving our existence.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, Curtis. I think an experience like that would be a great help in deterring future crime. I do believe so. I remember when I was younger, they used to let students take field trips to Cook County Jail. They absolutely they used to do that. I also remember when I was younger, there was a very famous program. I'm sure the two of you remember. It was called Scared Straight. It's a documentary, and it described exactly what you were describing, Curtis, as young folks being allowed to go into the jail and get a little one-on-one with some of the inmates. And the inmates would, threaten them. The inmates would, really make them cry. I think one boy urinated on himself. But those things are necessary, especially when we have today so many of our kids being raised in single-family homes.
Yeah.
And so the consequences of bad behavior, it needs to be drilled home. And I do believe that that's one of the ways. Curtis, thinking back on that, that's what helped keep me out of jail.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Yeah.
I remember, the big brother in the wife beater, the muscles, and how he just had the kids shaking. He had me shaking looking at him. Exactly. So yeah, I think that would be a very good thing to bring back, because these kids have no fear. They don't have a full understanding of the consequences behind their behavior. They really don't. And the parents are not, for whatever reason, they're not in, give them the heads up about it. At least not effective enough. You know what I mean? They're truly not. And so, man, I'm with you, Curtis. Man, bring back the jailhouse field trips. Bring them back.
Yeah, and we had a field trip too. I remember it, and it scared me straight. If I had any inkling about being, disrespectful, going the other way, the slam of the door and the reach from outside of the cell by
Yeah,
a
yeah,
prisoner to
Mm.
just like reach out and
yeah.
like, hey girl, like that. Child, I went up to the front. I was in the back of the line. I went up to the front where the teacher was and stayed next to the teacher the entire rest of the field trip.
That's right.
That turned me. I mean, because I was a good kid anyway. But
Yeah.
honey, if I had any inkling of like the little devil on your shoulder saying go do this or do whatever, honey, that was ripped out of me right then and there by hearing that door slam, and the rattle, the sound that it
Yeah.
makes, and then boom, it slams, and then you walking through this corridor. No, no, no.
Yeah.
But when you said, Dre, that yeah, I think they do need to bring that back in schools. But now I know the thing would be, oh, you're going to traumatize the
Oh,
children,
sure.
but they're already being traumatized by
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
things that are going on. We need
yeah.
to scare them, basically
Straight.
scare them straight,
Mhm.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, you're
absolutely.
in there. You need it to be face to face.
Right.
And another one of our comments came from an audience member and said that um it's being glamorized. So it's glamorized on social media. The violence is glamorized by people, and it's glorified, right?
Mm.
In movies,
Agreed.
music, and throughout the social media. So the kids, that's what they see all the time. That's what,
Yeah.
and they think is real, right? When they do
Right.
glamorize these things, they think, oh, this is the cool thing. But in actuality, see, they only see the whatever, the glamour part that they try to put out there, which is still false, and then they don't see the consequence behind it. The
Mm.
body laying dead in the street with
Yeah.
the blood coming down,
Right.
the
Right.
parents crying over you, and
Mm.
the children who you've left behind, and it's just a vicious cycle. So they don't see that other part of it. And I think that, yeah, moving forward, we do need to incorporate some of those things that used to, and it used to not be this bad, right? It used to not be. And but we
Right.
had
Right.
certain things in place that I guess, I don't know if we took for granted, if those things were not funded anymore. I don't know what happened to make them go away or why they were changed, but like it happened to me. I mean, I wasn't traumatized from it. I didn't have
No, it wasn't
nightmares
either.
about it.
Ah,
It
help
just
me stay
made
out of
me
jail.
know, yes, it helped me know as a black female what I did not want for my life moving
Mm.
forward. So that's what it allowed me to see face to face.
Right.
Like, oh, this is the other side. Oh, no, 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 no. When I'm later on in my life down the road and I'm in an area where there's drugs around, oh, no, no, no. I need to leave this area because I know
Hmm.
what's next. Rear, rear,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah, the
Yeah.
sirens coming, and then everybody there. You can't say, "Oh, I'm such and such daughter," or "I'm such and such son."
Hmm.
I just came with some friends. No, they not caring about all that. You going down with the rest of them.
You're
So
going down with the
whoever
rest of
you, there it is. It doesn't matter who your parents are or who your uncle is or godparents. It does not matter. You are guilty by association. So you better put yourself in correct areas and amongst friends that you think are your friends. You need to be around like-minded people. So if they're doing things that you know that is against your values, your parents' values at the time, then you need not do them. You need to remove yourself from that. But then it goes back to knowing who you are and whose you are, because you won't put yourself in those situations if
yeah.
you know those two
Mm.
things. It goes back to that.
Yeah. So it says. So what if anything can be done to stop these violent offenses at a federal level? Now that one's hard for me to answer because I really
Hmm.
can't. At a federal level, you got you federal you have to do some serious stuff. Most times is drugs or tax evasion or murder for federal crimes. I think petty crimes is stealing cars and stuff like that. You doing drugs, you know. But when you start killing people and you selling drugs and you killing the whole community, that's when they start putting that fed time on you and stuff like that. But I don't know, Dre, help me out with this one because how do we stop federal offenses at a federal level?
You know what? I
Um,
think people may not agree with this. I think that maybe on a federal level, marijuana needs to be decriminalized. That way, you eliminate the black market for it.
mm,
And a lot of our young people who are involved in the drug trade, they peddle
Mm-hmm.
marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
In Illinois, it's legal. Okay, so versus trying to find a street pharmacist, most folks go to a dispensary. It has lowered the need to find out, to seek out a Pookie and Ray Ray on the street corner, to
Right.
get you, a $10 bag of weed. And
Mm.
so on a federal level, I don't see much that can be done since most crime is local and most crime happens in proximity,
Mm-hmm.
in the area that people live in. And so I think that the majority of the effort needs to be had on a local level. Federally, on the federal level, more job initiatives can be made, so that jobs can be created in local
Mm-hmm.
areas. More entrepreneurial and educational opportunities need to be made, sponsored, backed up by the federal government, to create those opportunities that will help deter crime, because we all know crime exists where poverty exists.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You eliminate, lessen the poverty, less crime you'll have in most cases. So specifically for stopping crime itself, it is a local more of a local effort that needs to be made. But on the federal level, there are definitely programs, um, all kind of initiatives that they
Mm-hmm.
could do to help resolve it. But we all know that some of our congressmen and
Yeah.
women, they have money invested in the prison system.
The
Oh
prison
yeah,
system. Yes.
private.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
they're
Yes.
not trying to
So
change it. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so that's, as a community, that's a reality that we have to face, that, can we really count on the federal government to do anything? And I would say, hell no, we never
Mm-mm.
have, and we never can. We never
Right.
will.
Mm-mm.
So it's
Right.
up to us
Yep.
inside our homes first.
Yep.
Like Fedora said, starts at home. We have to do what we can within our community to keep our people away, our young people away from those traps out there that could
Mm-hmm.
potentially land them in jail or the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think who has some possible. What about the latest crimes against one another? There are not only kids but adults as well murdering people, for ending relationships. People getting angry about petty stuff. Following home robberies on the rise. Uh, they want to know your thoughts about that.
Well, I agree. I mean, the crimes are not just happening with our kids in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Our people, I believe, really suffer from a lot of mental illness. I
Mm.
think that we need therapy as a
Mm-hmm.
collective. Our people have been traumatized by centuries of white supremacy,
Mm-hmm.
oppression, and we've been trying to handle it on our own. We've been trying to deal with it without the assistance of the rest of America.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, we got a lot of folks out there that aren't making it. They're
Yeah.
not making it at all. And
Yeah.
so yeah, a lot of the crimes, a lot of the really violent crimes that we're seeing has a lot to, I believe, to do with mental illness. We have to do more to tackle that that's plaguing our community as well. So that's
Yep.
what I think about that.
I
Okay.
agree. I agree totally. Yeah, it's a lot of, like you say, Dre, a lot of untreated mental illnesses. A lot of people don't. There's still a stigma, a taboo with going to seek help.
Right.
And basically, it's scary, or they're looked at. Even when family members do, you know, speak out or say something, for themselves, or saying, "Oh, I go to see a therapist or whatever," then they're looked at or looked down upon. There's still that stigma, but everybody needs to talk to somebody, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
That's
and
right.
we all are human beings, and we all need that connection, and you need to be heard. And when you're not being heard in the relationships that you're in or in the environments that you're in, then it's going to come out a certain way. And most times it comes out negatively, right? And then
Yeah.
there are consequences for those negative behaviors, bad consequences, either jail, death, whatever, on that person, and them inflicting that harm upon someone else. So without going to talk to a professional, then they're just left out there to just do whatever and to fend for themselves. And it's starting younger and younger. Unfortunately, it is starting younger. And the kids don't have that mental capacity to say, or to self-reflect, or to say, to go to their parents and say, hey, I need help. Because most of them are like, what is going on? Like, they know something is wrong, but they
Mhm.
don't know what's wrong, so they don't know where to start. And
Yeah.
without a parent being mindful and noticing, or being in that child's life, and not just being two ships in the wind and letting the child come home and just go in the room, and you don't know what's going on, you don't know if the kid has homework, you haven't had a conversation. So we need to start as parents having these conversations. I know that we're all busy, we all work, but even if you pick your child up from school, have that conversation in the car, turn the radio off, let's have a talk,
Mhm.
for those 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however long it takes you to get home. And then at home, while you're doing whatever, hey, no video games right now, let's have a discussion. What's
Mhm.
going on with you? I Stop asking, do you have homework? The question is, what homework do you have? And
Right.
then that'll
Right.
notify the kid to think, instead of just automatically answering, oh, nothing.
Mhm.
To think, oh yeah, what do I have? Oh, okay, yeah, I have this homework and I have that. Oh, and I missed an assignment because we were absent because I had to go to the doctor. So I need to do this too. So then it's bringing back, okay, well, you need to go do that. And if you need help, let me know while I finish dinner. And then check that homework when after you finish dinner. Have you finished? Okay, let me check. Let me see your homework. Because kids, they'll lie. They'll be like,
Yes,
yeah,
they
I'm
will.
done. And they
Yeah.
did one problem and they got
Mhm.
15 problems to do and they did one and they done because they've been swiping on their phone or looking at YouTube or whatever. So we have to be parents, not
Yeah.
friends, and set those things and say, hey, hold the kids accountable.
Right.
As parents, we have to be accountable. You go to work every day. If you have a job, you're accountable to someone. So your children need to be accountable too. So, and like you said, Drake, that is not happening in most households.
Nope.
Parents lie for the kids all the time. The kid will be like, "Oh, well,
Yeah.
I didn't do such and such," and then they'll
Yeah.
get mad at you and be like, "Oh, you gave my child this." No, your child earned that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
unfortunately, there's no consequence. And then they can tell their parent something, and then the parent will believe it, and then it's it's a travesty. And so we're seeing it what in the streets. We're seeing it, with the crime. We're seeing it with the lack of respect, with the lack of value for self and others. So, and it has to come to a stop because it's already at a head. We got to
Yeah.
change it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to talk about this right quick. The myth that we aren't talking about. Some believe that the myth that Black people aren't concerned about nor seeking guidance on eradicating violence committed by Black people against Black people. This is far from the truth. Many of us that many of us know that there is an issue, but are at a standstill on what to do about the situation. Many of us are fearful that the young boys and girls will die in the crossfire. Local branches of the NAACP, not necessarily in all communities, and other organizations are trying to figure something out. Some have created programs that they believe will address the situation adequately. Um, you know, I think that, like you said, Fedora, and like Andre said, that I think we need to bring some of those programs back. But I've seen some comments about the mental stability that will probably hurt the child. But I'm saying, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if there's something going on with the child prior to them start to commit the small crimes and then the bigger crimes, and next thing you know, they're sitting on the news with their shirt pulled over their head because they didn't kill somebody. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just mean to scare them. I think that we sit together at the round table once again and talk about how do we save us? How do we save our community? What can we do to save our young people? And a friend of mine, he and I spoke about the same conversation. He said, because I was thinking middle school. He was like, no, we got to start at the elementary school.
Elementary.
We got to
That's right.
start the elementary school, being
Agreed.
Yep.
mentors to the young elementary kids and follow them all the way up to they graduate high school. Then they'll
Yep.
know that somebody cares about them. And like Andre talked about, they could be in a single parent home, whereas they're probably going to rob somebody because they can't even make a sandwich when they get home. We should those programs are gone, but we have the means to reestablish those programs through grants, through donations. But it's like we don't want to do that. We want, like you said, we want to just stand around and say, what do we do? Well, I think if we say we show the young people that we care, that may be a solution to the problem that's going on with the violence. Some people grow up and that's the pattern. They continue that same pattern.
That's cycle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then once they get to their adulthood, then they realize that it finally catches up to them. You having an issue with somebody from way back when, but they finally caught you by yourself, and now they want to even the score. So, and that's based on something that happened. Y'all had beef from way back when that continues to go on all the way through your adulthood, and now we burying this person. So I think that those kind of programs we need to bring back, and we need to sit at the round table. Those that can provide should provide, either through mentorship or donations or grants. Get your grant writers and write those grants and show the young people that we do care. And I think that would be a solution to a lot of black on black violence. But like you said, here in El Paso, we have kids that are mixed. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, we got to think about them as well, because their issue is they don't know which side they fall on. But if we say, hey, your mother's black or your father's black, you're one of us. So you need to sit down here too, because guess what? They're going to look at you the same way they look at the other black kids that's in your community. They're going to look at you the same way, So you need to sit down at this table. Let's talk about why you feel like you need to fit in over here or over there. Why can't you just be yourself? Create your own means, do your own thing. You don't have to. You didn't have to go and rob the store or go with them just because they want to see how loyal you were. So,
I agree. Mentorship programs and those types of things, they are necessary. But, I do have a serious question. Who are these kids listening to? Because kids nowadays, they don't like to listen to adults. They don't want to hear what adults have to say. They're not open. They're not receptive to the guidance and to the information that we have to offer. And it's really disappointing to me. I'm not a parent, but I do see this type of resistance from young people all the time. So we can have the mentorship programs, but I do think that without the parent of those young people pushing them into these programs, insisting that they be a part of these programs, you have these mentors ready to mentor people, but you won't have these kids receptive to the guidance that they could be receiving. That is a concern of mine.
Yeah. All right, Fedora, could you? Yeah, she just took it down, but we had a question at the bottom. I think that you could answer that right there.
It says the kids people are dismissing grow up to be these murderers of our own people. It's happening every day. So what do we do in the meantime to protect ourselves and our families?
Strap up. That's what I say. Strap up. Because, hey, look, man, up here in Chicago, there's a lot of home invasion, a lot of all kind of crimes going on. And unfortunately, if these parents are not willing to invest in their children and give them, some moral guidelines, do what they need to do to keep their child alive. If they break into my home, they're carrying your baby out in the body bag. And that's for real.
Bottom line. Yeah. That's life. That's true. That's real talk, as they say. Yeah. Because you have to protect yourself and your household, right?
It's
your right. And that's what you're supposed to do.
That's right. I want to see these parents taking their kids' lives seriously. You don't want your baby to be gunned down for being a knucklehead.
Yeah,
you got to work harder. You got to work harder.
Do your job.
Simple as that.
because parenting is a job. And like I used to tell my children, like, because they're grown now, and I thank God for both of them because they're both good kids,
Mm,
and I attest to God for that. But I used to tell them all the time, the things that I wouldn't allow them to do that they might have wanted to go, or the people they want to be hanging out with, and I would say no, no, and I would say you
Right.
don't understand now. You might dislike me now, but you'll
Right.
love me later.
yeah.
And yeah, so
Yeah.
it's my job, and I take my job very seriously. It's my job to protect you and to make sure that you are a productive citizen and that you can stand on your own 2 feet when I am no longer here, as well as when I'm here, but you can be productive citizens in
Mm,
society. And that is my job, and I take my job seriously. And that's what a lot of parents
Yeah.
need to start doing. Now there
That's
are
what's up.
times when you do raise children and they choose to go off in another direction,
Sure.
mm,
opposite totally from what you taught them. But then, you just have to continue to pray for them, and the consequences are the consequences because they've made those decisions. So that's on them.
right.
um and not a reflection on you. But yeah,
Right.
but
Right.
a lot of these kids now, they're like Dre said, there no accountability, there are no consequences. They run the house. They simple word like what, or I want this now. Who
Mm,
you talking to?
yeah.
Who you
Yeah.
talking to?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't I buy the stuff? Aren't you enclosed in a you have a dwelling to live in? You got a bed to
Mm,
sleep in? And
Uh,
I don't mean like big kid. I mean like they start little,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
3 and 4 years old with an attitude. Like, child, please, you better get your life together.
Yeah.
Ooh, hem you up against a wall real
Yeah.
quick now,
Yeah.
fast in a
Yeah.
hurry.
And, and
Uh-uh.
and my thing with that question that was brought forth, I think that for me, I would say put them in a safe environment, raise them in a safer environment, because I think, then this is my opinion. I think some kids are a product of their environment. They see
Yeah.
what's going on
Oh yeah.
around them.
Absolutely. We
When they
all are.
walk
Oh
out the
yeah.
door, they see the drug dealer on the corner. They see
Mm-hmm.
they riding around in the car, the guy that stole the car, or the
It's
student that
appealing.
stole the car.
Mm-hmm.
You hanging with the group that just robbed the grocery store, stole some candy. A piece of candy turned into to stealing some dollars and pocketbooks and things of that nature. So I think kids become a product of their environment. So I think we have to move them out of that environment to give them a better environment so they can see that, hey, we're over here now. So I don't want you back over there. Don't, hey, them friends you got over there, you don't need to be over there with them friends no more. They can't come to my house either. Nope. They can't.
What?
You can meet them at the park or school. You can see them at school, but they can't
Nope,
come over
can't
here.
see 'em.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Because they
see
don't have
them.
the same values that I have. Their parents don't have the same values that I have. I care about you. You said Fedora, like you said, Fedora. I'm a protector. I'm your protector, so I have to protect you. So I'm gonna put you in an environment whereas I know that you're gonna be safe, and that's how I think we protect our families by putting them in a safe environment. And then you still
But
instill those values and telling them, what the pros and cons of living over there is. And while I'm busting my tail working these 12 hours a night, providing food on the table and clothes on your back and a nice roof over your head and got a nice vehicle outside to take you to where you need to go and putting money in your pocket, give you a nice allowance. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to have to steal from nobody. I want you to learn how you have to earn your worth. Everything you do, you have to earn it. You need to work hard to get it. And those values will instill in them. They'll say, "Oh man, I don't want to make my mom. I don't want to disappoint my mom. I don't want to disappoint my dad or my granddaddy or my grandmother or my uncles and aunts because they've never put me in a situation whereas I had to steal from somebody, I had to take something from somebody, or kill somebody. So I think if we do that, and I know some people can't do that,
that's what
but
that was my
but you
question to
can
you.
move.
Like, what can you do if you're not in that position
But
to provide a safe environment? Because it's not safe. The kid knows it's not safe.
right,
You're constantly trying to instill in them those right values. So how do you maneuver? And as a single parent, how do
mm,
you maneuver that with a male other than, and they have, let's say, positive role models in their lives? How do you get them to not be, I guess, taken by the streets?
yeah, yeah,
What, because I know that, like in Chicago, I know, every kid, they don't want to be in a gang. It's
yeah,
just the environment that they're in. They don't have a choice. They can't move away. They don't have
Right.
a family member that they can move out of town and go to
Mhm.
Florida, so to speak,
Mhm.
and live, and have a better life. They don't have those opportunities. So how do the parents maneuver that? How do you protect your children? Because they want to protect them.
Mhm.
Like you say, Andre, they're working 12-hour shifts and
Right.
may even have two jobs, so that
Right.
means they're not home often, but they
Right.
have to keep food on the table and have to keep a roof over
That's
their
right.
head.
Mhm.
So and a lot of after school programs, I don't know if they still have those anymore,
Mhm.
because of the funding, and we're just coming out of
Right.
COVID. But
Mhm.
some schools would have after school programs, so by the time the parents got off, you could go pick the child up and they were at school, the homework was done. But I don't even know if they have those programs anymore. So what do they do, like in a big city like Chicago? What can
Man,
be done?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think anything can be done because the rise in crime, the violence that we see is it keeps perpetuating, and I don't see anything that can be done to make it stop. What can make it stop, in my opinion, is something very drastic. These
Mm,
drastic times calls for drastic measures,
measures. Hmm.
and I have a potential solution that I've run across people, and again, I've never been a parent before, so forgive me if it sounds a bit naive. But
I'll let you
Fedora,
know.
no problem. Well, Fedora, you had brought up about how difficult it is for a single parent to effectively instill values and guidance, to a child. I just think that with us seeing 70% of our children being born out of wedlock, and 75% of our sisters will never see marriage in their lives,
Hmm.
uh, naive me says baby mamas and baby daddies just need to get back together. Go and get married.
Mhm.
Everybody's just gonna get married. If there's no history of violence, marry your baby daddy. If you have more than one baby daddy, every woman I know who has more than one, there's one of the baby daddies she gets along with better than the others. Marry him. You need two parents back in the household. Now, I know that sounds silly to folks. Man, how can you say that? Well, you took the time to make these babies. We didn't do it.
Yeah.
Y'all did it. Marry that woman.
Well, maybe not necessarily, because I know that's not an option for most,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm. So they
maybe
say.
the what would you say to having that child, that parent, that father present in that child's life, regardless if they are in the home or not? So they see their dad regularly, they talk to their father regularly,
Mm-hmm.
they are in the father's life and
Mm-hmm.
the day to day. They know what's going on. It's not just like, oh, that's my daddy over there.
Mm-hmm.
They really have that one-on-one relationship. They
Mm-hmm.
spend time, quality
Mm-hmm.
time. They
Mm-hmm.
are aware of what's going on at school. So what
Mm-hmm.
would you say to that?
Better, but the best solution is
Well,
the
yeah,
man
in the
inside
home.
that
Hmm.
home.
Yeah.
And because again, our people, see, I don't think our people understand just how bad of shape we are really in.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Because when I look at folks and they fear marriage more than they fear having babies with people
That's true.
that may not be around. And that is backwards to me.
It
I'm
is.
sorry. I mean, it's not my fault. These kids did not ask to be born.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Yep.
yet and still, we keep having children and we keep, having them in under circumstances that are not the most beneficial.
Hmm.
These people, what they got to lose? What they got to lose? Your child is dying out here. It's your child. All right. And you're not in the household with her. Why? Really? Why? Why are you not with him? If there's no violence, you guys had a baby, you should be made to be married. You should live up under the same household. That man needs to see every day with his own eyes, see every day. He needs to be able to monitor his child's behavior. Yeah, you can do it, to a certain extent when they're away from you and you see them regularly. It's good. But nothing beats being in that home, seeing that child from when they wake up to when they go to bed. My father knew everything about us, even when I said nothing. Pops walked up to me and was like, "What's wrong with you? You haven't. That's not something you can monitor from a different address,
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true.
and that's not anything that can be caught with the mom or whoever working, long hours. You need another set of eyes under that
That's true.
roof at all times." And I understand folks will say, "Oh, I just can't get back with my baby daddy." Okay, what's your alternative? What's your
Mm.
alternative? Because again, most of our sisters will never be married in their lifetime. Want marriage, but you won't be married for whatever reason. I tell you what, you had a baby with, you know, old boy over there, hook up with him, get married,
But
raise
maybe
your
they
children
moved on.
together.
And most of
Like
maybe
that,
the guys
right.
aren't ready for that
They
because
need to be made
clearly,
to. They need to
you
be
know,
made to. They need to
how
be made to.
how would you make
That's
them?
well, I wish legislatively, I wish it could be done. I wish oh Lord. I would make it child support will be 50-50 from the beginning. 50-50. Child support and visitation. We need to deter folks from either being single parents
Mm,
or getting married. You know what I'm saying? Marriage as an institution is not being pushed in our community anymore.
mm,
Mm.
It's single and independence,
mm,
you know? And
Yep.
so how's that working out for us? It's not. So I know that my solution sounds extreme. I get it. It sounds
well, it is extreme
very right, but we
because
are
it's
in a
extreme
very
times.
that's right. That's right. I mean, I'd love to hear a more sound solution from anyone
Yeah.
because no one has a solution that says bring the family back together.
Hmm.
Everyone tries to still resolve this from afar, from
Hmm.
different households. Okay, we've been doing that for the last 50 years. We've been
And
doing
it's
that.
not working.
It's not working.
Mm.
I tell you what, you two had, Tamika and Shamika over there. Both of y'all need to get a crib together, become roommates up under the same roof, and raise them girls right.
Mm, mm-hmm.
That's I wish I could. I wish I could legislate something like that, man. Because you'll see a lot of our problems, go away. Them kids need both of them parents in the household.
Yeah,
I'm
Hmm.
it's
sorry.
important. It is
I'm sorry.
important.
I know it's extreme, ladies and gentlemen, but that's just the way I get down. I can't see nothing else seems to be working. So
Yeah.
get back with your baby mama and baby daddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Tired of paying tax dollars for the welfare programs coming out of my pocket. It's
Hmm.
ridiculous.
Yeah. So I have a question from one of the viewers. They were saying, "What are your thoughts on the latest crimes that involve not just kids but adults? What is causing these type of crimes, killing loved ones too?" I think she's referring to like the relationships where they killing the boyfriend, killing the girlfriend because the girlfriend don't want to be with him no more. Um, the
It
situation
goes
where,
back to that. It goes back to that mental, and then not having the emotional intelligence or resilience to handle certain life things that happen, right?
Mhm.
Not having that, I guess, the emotional stability to be able to handle certain things.
Right.
So and it all stems from, like, when they're older and adults, it all stems from childhood, right?
Yeah.
We are who we are. Like, it usually is that little kid that's that whatever, attachment issue that has, way they've been raised or whatever happened in their home, or no affection or love from the parent,
Hmm.
the mom or whatever. And when mom might have left them, with grandma, and they have these issues, so then boom, it's not really the girlfriend that they're trying to harm, it's the mom they're trying to harm, that they
Hmm.
really despise and hate, but they're that little kid again in their
Yeah.
mind. So they're too, again, the mental health issue, it stems back. And a lot of times we don't want to get help, we don't want to acknowledge that we need help or our children need help, and then it's swept under the rug. Everybody had that person upstairs. What was it on? What was that show that used to come on? Um, and you had Uncle whoever upstairs and would throw the plate out. and closed the door like he, wasn't
Oh,
around
soul
people.
food.
Yeah, soul food. He didn't
Yeah.
like being around people. So, but you knew his name, and you would take the plate, and he would throw it out, slam the door, whatever. We laugh about it, but we've all had that issue in our household, but that person was never getting help. That person was never, being put on medications. Going through therapy. It was just, stay away from him, and that's not how. Now that's not working. It's not working for us. We need help. And so breaking that stigma.
Gotcha.
We have another says, how are
Oh,
men and women learning about relationships and love healthily? Yeah. And a lot of times they don't learn. They just go off of what they see. And if they see, things that aren't, healthy, they see the dysfunction, then that's what they model. That's just like domestic violence. Most people who are in domestic violence or who do it have been a part of it or have grown up in it in their lives. And you would think that's just like you would think they would go away from it, right? They would say, I don't want to be like that. And it's the same way with drug addiction, right? You may have grown up with a drug addicted parent, but then you might do drugs and you get addicted to drugs, but you've grown up with this. You see the horror, you see the consequences from it. You might have grown up dealing with your parent, helping them and seeing them, not be a part, and just sleeping and you handling the house. But then when you get older, boom, you have your issues and you turn to drugs. So you would think that people would move away from that. They see the result. They see the pain. They know the pain. They've lived it, but they still, to numb that pain and numb whatever demon it is, they still go to whatever drug of choice.
yeah.
And then what? That cycle again. That cycle.
Right.
Nobody wants to stop it.
Yep.
So
Andre,
Yes, sir.
we thank you for coming on and blessing us with your presence and keeping it real, brother. And you continue to keep it real no matter what our friend says. You know what we're talking about. We ain't gonna say no names on here. We gonna say no name, but we know you and I know who we talking about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you and Fedora again, Curtis, for having me aboard now, Sweet 915 again today. I always enjoy myself talking with you guys, and looking forward to having the both of you on the reset again. So again, thanks for having me this Sunday. I enjoyed the conversation, very important conversation. And I do hope everyone that's tuning in shares this show, pass the word around. These are very important issues that our community is going through, and we need all hands on deck to resolve these issues. So thanks again, guys, for having me.
Hey, so before you go though, man, tell them about the reset. What you got coming up? Your holidays? You giving out turkeys? What you doing?
Well, actually on the reset, man, I do have some upcoming shows. We're gonna be talking a little bit about child rape amongst boys and how that is not being looked at, taken seriously in our community and in media, among other things. I've just got done interviewing some of the really powerful community activists in our hometown of Aurora, Illinois, who are holding community educational sessions to actually teach people how to properly address their local officials, properly fill out police complaint forms, and all of the things like that to make us more engaged on a civic level. And so on the reset, that's what we do. We tackle a lot of the socio-economic issues that affect the Black working class. So everyone, it airs on Sundays, 4:00 Central Standard Time. So tune in. We're on Facebook, YouTube. You can catch us, and there's always some fire. And I keep it real. I keep it real with you.
Yes, he do. Yes. I check it out. Yes, he do. Hey, man. So thanks again, brother. Thanks again, man. Appreciate you. We're gonna talk about some of our upcoming events we got going on, Miss Fedora.
What you got?
What we got? Says we will announce the date of our much anticipated show on mental health, sex, and relationships. What topics would you like to see addressed? email the real sweet 915 at gmail.com or message us at host Curtis Smith or it's me Fedora. Uh, Instagram, it's me Fedora. Is that Fedora one? Woo, Fedora one. The
SweetFedora.com.
number one, y'all. The number one is me Fedora one. You know, and she'll get back to you as soon as she can. You know, she's a busy woman these days. You know, got a lot going on.
Yeah, always.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and further announcements, we have the ML King Committee announces their annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration and observance taking place Sunday, January
Mhm.
the 16th, 2022. Can't even believe this year is almost over.
I know,
The,
right?
the theme is It Starts With Me,
Starts with
shifting priorities to create the beloved community. Special guest speaker, no stranger to Sweet 915, is Mr. Kendrick Lusk, who is a local high school educator. So,
mm-hmm.
January the 16th, 2022.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we have our holiday pop up shop. It's going
Mm-hmm.
to be Saturday, December the 4th, beginning at 10 a.m. Looking for vendors. Information is located on the flyer, as you see there for those who are listening. It's December 10th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's free to participants or people who come. It's going to be at 7060 Cummington, El Paso, Texas. There will be gift giveaways for men, women, and children. You can email pop up El Paso at gmail.com or you can call 915-262-6194. I repeat, 915-262-6195. Did I say four the first time? All
Yeah.
right, it's 95. So the website, go to popupelpaso.com. COVID protocol will be in effect. And then we also have the return of the Mac. It's an epic concert presented by Lady Soul Production. The venue will be at El Mita Shrine at 6331 Alabama Street here in El Paso, Texas. Tickets in advance are $30. They are $40 at the door. It is BYOB. No beer or wine. For ticket information, please contact Lady Soul at 915-373-6105. That's
Mm-hmm.
373-6105. Yep.
Yep. And that's
So,
just a minor correction. Elmida.
oh, Elmida, my bad.
Elmida Shrine Temple.
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah. And woof. Follow
So
us
we
on
gonna
our
be out
social
there for
media
the.
channels, huh?
No, I was gonna ask you for the pop up shop. We gonna have a surprise for the kids. So
Yeah, we're gonna have a
do
surprise for the
yeah.
kid. Yeah.
Make sure you come out and it'll be a surprise for everybody too. So,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Y'all gonna be really surprised. But follow us on our social media channels. Our handle is at Sweet 915 and look for me, Curtis Smith, at host Curtis Smith, and Fedora Johnson at It's Me Fedora Johnson. It's me Fedora one on Instagram. Send your questions and topics to the real sweet 915 at gmail.com or message us on social media at Sweet 915. And remember, no topic is taboo. As you see today, we talked about some stuff that's impacting us. So what you know, hey, I know we have Hispanic viewers, white viewers, Asian viewers. Hey, tell us what you want to talk about, and you can come on the show and talk about it. You got something on your mind? Let's talk about it here, and we can get somebody on here that's specializes in the topics that you want to talk about, and we can get them
That's
on
right.
here, and we can have open conversation, just open dialogue about what we want to talk about, because no topic is taboo.
That's
Miss
right.
Fedora, it's the holiday. What you got going on before we get out of here? You cooking some sweet potato pie,
Nope.
shrimp,
Nothing.
shrimp fried rice, cocktail, something. What you gonna
Nope. Nope. And nope.
bake fish,
No. I may fix some macaroni and cheese. I
lobster mac and
may.
cheese,
Oh, that sounds good.
lobster mac and
Let's
cheese.
That's
Y'all
some
know
thought,
Fedora is
Curtis.
pescatarian now, so she don't eat all food no more.
Our food. I eat
Yeah,
food, man. I just
our
eat
food no more.
seafood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix something. I'll get a fake turkey and
Okay.
then probably do some
You say
macaroni
a
and cheese.
fake
But
turkey,
yeah, it's like turkey, but it's not.
man. I'm not even following you up.
I know, I know
Fake
that just
turkey,
bothers you. That bothers you so much. And I
turkey.
think
You
I'm
gonna
gonna
eat
make
turkey,
a
not turkey?
crab. I'm
You
gonna
eat?
eat a crab pasta. I'm gonna make a crab pasta dish too.
Oh,
So
hey, my sister makes the best. What she make it? Crab or seafood stuffing. Oh my god, it is
oh, that sounds
delicious.
good. Oh
Seafood.
yeah,
She
and I
makes
probably
seafood
will make
stuffing. She
dressing.
puts shrimp and crab in it. Little
Yeah,
with some celery,
yeah.
onions, bell peppers. It's
Okay.
really
I
good.
might
It's
try that.
good.
That
It's really
sounds
good.
good. I might
Yeah,
try that.
she does that. It's
Hmm.
really good. But I don't think she's gonna cook a lot this year because our families are going to visit other family members out of state, and everything's gonna
Hmm.
be at my uncle's house this year in the country.
Okay.
So
You
you know,
going home?
no, no, no. I'll be local. Um, yeah.
We have a person commented talking about Curtis. I agree. What's the point of Fedora eating fake food? It is not fake. It is seafood. Y'all quit judging me about what I eat. Don't hate. It's gonna be good just because it's
Oh
not
my
the
goodness.
traditional ham or turkey. Don't judge me. I'm gonna eat. So that's all that count. I'm gonna eat and I'll be around some family members. Yep. But
Okay.
my
Good
my
stuff.
my children will not be around, so I don't have to cook, but I'm going to my daughter's boyfriend's his family to a friend's house to eat. So I'll
Okay.
bring a covered dish, and I'll probably cook for myself. Like the dressing, I think I'll experiment this year with some different things. But I know I'm making the crab pasta,
Okay.
cornbread, and what you said, the dressing. I
Yeah.
was trying to debate, but I like that idea. I might fix some the
Seafood
lobster
stuffing.
mac. I
The
like that.
lobster mac and cheese. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going with my Masonic brothers down to feed the homeless because the Civic Center's not doing it this year because
No,
of COVID. They don't want all those people in that area.
fine
And a lot of
area.
those homeless people and people that are in need usually come down there and eat, man. They feed you till you full. So,
Okay.
but this year they're not doing it because of COVID. So I got one of my Masonic brothers and we found out a way to give back, take it to the homeless down there so they still have something to eat for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
we're gonna do it.
Is
We're gonna
that
do it the day.
Thanksgiving Day?
No, we're gonna
Okay.
do it the day before Thanksgiving. We're gonna go down there and drop the plates off, and most of the time we get down there, they're out there before we can even get the vehicle downloaded. So we're probably gonna pass out plates outside and then take the rest inside. Um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, and the Eastern Stars are gonna partner with us with that as well. So we're
Okay.
gonna be doing that out here. I'll be here I'll be here for the holidays. So
Okay.
and I'll
Well,
be
look
house
forward.
hopping. Getting my
Mhm.
sweet potato pie, fried turkey, the macaroni cheese, ham,
Yeah, and you're not cooking anything. You just gonna
neck
be going to people's
bones,
house eating.
collard greens,
Hmm.
cabbage,
Yeah, I hear
candy
you.
yams. Don't
Uh-huh.
it sound good, Fedora?
I eat
Deviled
all that stuff
eggs,
except for the meat. I don't like
deviled
deviled eggs.
eggs.
So, that doesn't, no.
Girl, you
Don't
don't know
do
what you
deviled
missing.
eggs.
I'll tell you, you
I
like my
fix them,
food.
but I don't eat them. Yeah. Don't judge me.
Hey, I'm not judging you because you used to
Yeah,
eat
you
chitlins
are.
back then. I don't eat chitlins anymore. I done never
No,
ate
I
chitlins a
don't
day in
eat.
my
I
life.
never have eaten chitlins. I will drop a plate to get rid of some chitlins that touch my hands.
All
That
right,
stuff is
Fedora.
disgusting. All right.
Yeah.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, y'all
Peace
have a
out,
happy
people.
Thanksgiving. Hey, like
Yep.
Fedora say, man, be blessed. Hey,
Yes.
if you could feed somebody, feed somebody. Take a plate to somebody that you know can't cook this year. Just be thankful for what you got and
Yeah.
share. Give them some positive vibes and spirits,
Yeah.
and bring their spirits up by
Energy.
taking a plate. I'm guaranteed they'll have a smile on their face when you drop that plate off.
Yeah.
Even if they don't want to eat your food, they're gonna be thankful that you came. You thought
That
about
you
them.
thought about them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
All
When you
right.
deliver it, have gloves on, and then they'll know it
Yeah,
was prepared safely.
exactly.
And then when
Exactly.
you pray over it, hey, That's why we pray, bless our food, so it'll be all right
Okay.
when we eat.
Mhm.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
all
All
right.
right. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good week. Have a good Thanksgiving. Safe travels to those that are going to be traveling on those roads. Be
Yeah,
safe and enjoy your family and be thankful for what you got. COVID
that's it.
has really been an impact in our lives. So just be thankful that you were able to spend time with whoever you're spending time with. May
Yeah,
God bless you. Have a good week. And thanks
yeah.
again for tuning in to Sweet 915.
Peace.